All right, let's jump in a time machine and talk about a moment that honestly changed the game for data everywhere. I'm talking about SQL Server 2012. You see, when it dropped back in March of that year, it wasn't just another software update. Oh no. It was a landmark release that tackled the biggest demands of a new digital world head-on.
So, to really get why this was such a big deal, you have to ask, what were things like back then? Well, businesses were basically drowning in data. They were struggling to keep their systems online, get quick answers to simple questions, and just, manage all the chaos. The pressure was really on.
It all boiled down to these three words: uptime. Systems had to be on all the time, no excuses. Insight. People needed answers from their data right now, not next week. And scale. They desperately needed a way to manage all this growing complexity. And SQL Server 2012? It was built from the ground up to solve these three massive problems.
Okay, so let's tackle that first one, uptime. Back then, downtime was the ultimate enemy. We're talking millions of dollars lost. The solution that SQL Server 2012 brought to the table was so powerful, its name basically became the definition of high availability. Always on.
The difference here is just night and day. Before 2012, disaster recovery was this super stressful, manual process that you had to do for every single database. It was a nightmare. But after 2012, you suddenly had this integrated, automatic system that could fail over whole groups of databases at once, seamlessly. The risk, the workload, it just plummeted.
And this was the magic that made it all happen. Always-on availability groups. For the very first time, you could treat a whole bunch of related databases like a single unit for failover. So if your main server went down, piff, a secondary one could take over in seconds. Your apps would just keep on running. This was an absolute game changer.
And the benefits just kept piling up. It wasn't just about failing over multiple databases. Suddenly, your secondary servers weren't just sitting there waiting for a disaster. Nope, you could actually use them for read-only queries, for backups. You could offload work. This made the whole HA setup so much simpler, and it even worked with the super lightweight Windows Server core, which was a huge win for security and performance.
Okay, so we've got uptime covered. What about that second big demand? Insight. I mean, businesses needed to tear through massive data sets without waiting for hours or even days. SQL Server 2012 came out swinging with another feature that was just revolutionary.
The answer was a totally new way of thinking about data, called column store indexes. See, databases traditionally stored everything in rows. But think about it. For analytics, you're usually just grabbing a few columns from millions of rows. So by storing data in columns instead, the database could just grab exactly what it needed, leading to these absolutely mind-blowing speed improvements.
Let's make this real for a second. Imagine you're a business analyst. Your most important report of the week takes a full hour to run. For 60 minutes, you're just staring at a progress bar, waiting. That was a painful reality for a lot of people dealing with big data back then.
Yeah, 1 hour. That's 3,600 seconds. Think about that. An entire hour where a system is totally maxed out, just crunching numbers. In the business world, that is an eternity. You could literally go get lunch and come back.
And then this happens. This is the impact of column store. That exact same query on the exact same data now took less than 5 seconds. From an hour to under 5 seconds. I mean, come on. That wasn't just an improvement, it was a total transformation. It meant you could finally ask questions and get answers interactively.
So, we're always on, we're lightning fast. What's left? Well, the final piece of the puzzle was scale. The problem wasn't just speed or availability, it was about managing the whole data lifecycle, from quality to development, in a way that actually made sense. And SQL Server 2012's big move here was to stop being just a database and start being a data platform.
And here's how all those pieces click together. You could use data quality services to clean up and standardize your data as it came in. Then, you could use master data services to create one single governed source of truth. And finally, you had the brand new SQL Server data tools to develop, debug, and roll out all of your database and BI projects from one single place. It was beautiful.
And the list of goodies didn't stop there. The platform was packed. Power View brought this amazing interactive drag-and-drop data visualization to the masses. Contained databases made moving databases between servers ridiculously easy. Even the T-SQL language itself got awesome new functions, and security got a major boost with user-defined roles for way more granular control.
So when you put it all together, the non-stop availability,
the blazing fast analytics, and all these unified platform tools, you really start to see something special emerge. SQL Server 2012 laid a foundation that, honestly, we are still building on to this very day.
And this is really the core idea. This is the big takeaway. It was the moment SQL Server truly brought together the worlds of day-to-day transactions, heavy-duty analytics, and business intelligence all under one roof, with resilience and performance baked right into its DNA.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. The next time you use an app that's just always there for you, or you run a dashboard that gives you answers in a flash, think about the history. Because a lot of those concepts, like integrated high availability and in-memory column-based analytics, things that feel so modern, they really got their big start in this revolutionary 2012 release. Its legacy is literally everywhere.